internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. This is absolutely ridiculous. Can you believe it? The SEC is dropping its investigation into Ethereum, consensus says. This is absurd. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. In a moment, we're going to get into it. We're going to cover what the lawyers said, but you guys are going to be shocked. And I'll give you my insight on it in a moment. But first, mic drop. Shout out to Cypress for this one. People are going to be kicking themselves. And every single one of you guys that are tuning in every single day, there is a very small handful of us, right? So that right there says a lot. There's only going to be a handful of individuals becoming wealthy off of holding XRP and other digital assets. And in today's video, you are going to hear Augustine Cartens. He's the general manager at the Bank of International Settlements. This is very, very important. He's been there since 2017, and he plays a very big role in just pretty much getting everybody on board and connecting economies together. I'm just going to put it in that way so you guys could understand. He has a very, very crucial role, and I call him BitBoy 2.0. But listen to what he says here.
When the technology is mature enough to use, but before we get locked into rigid institutional frameworks or walled gardens erected by large financial institutions or by big tech companies. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revisit the architecture of the financial system.
And remember, I've said this in the past, they got to do this right the first time. And he just told you this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revisit the architecture of the financial system.
We are about to unlock something that has never been done before. Think about it from this perspective. If we don't have money in the world, like, what are we doing? What's our purpose? I know it may sound a little crazy. Like, what is our purpose though? Like, we work for money. Money's the all root of evil. Like, that saying is legitimate because at the end of the day, it's all about money. So when you're unlocking a new way you could move value in the world, just like sending email, right? This is going to get ridiculous. And the ones that understand, wow. Augustine, just tell them again, please.
We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revisit the architecture of the financial system.
All right, Augustine, that's enough of you. But remember, even at the Interledger Summit, when they stated, if we were to apply this new technology, it is going to change everything. So can you just imagine the closed-door meetings and what is being discussed that has not been public yet?
These systems, if they're implemented properly, will result in a new world, a world in which things will be different for everybody, different for banks, different for mobile money companies, different for people. A new world.
Go ahead and smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. But we got to set the tone again. Listen to what Raoul Powell says. Very intelligent man.
And also, you and I learned a new trick, which was that we realized that this was a long duration asset and you need to have a longer time horizon than was traditional in macro.
Yeah.
And we both had to learn that trick. You know, you have to learn it. It's hard, but you learn it. And you learn, as you're doing now, is if you've got a long duration, you should be buying in the sell-offs and not selling.
And for the individuals, he couldn't have said it better himself. His bank expertise just comes up right there, right? When you're getting into crypto, you got to go into it with a legitimate financial literacy perspective. You got to look at it like this is the next stock market. So you got to set up your portfolio the right way. What is going to be your time horizon? Is it going to be for retirement? Is it going to be for short-term investment or long-term investment, right? And then you do your risk tolerance, where you would do maybe conservative or aggressive. How are you going to diversify the profile? Are you going to have 20% in highly, risky assets and then 80% into conservative ones? So Raoul Pal couldn't have said it any better.
That this was a long duration asset and you need to have a longer time horizon than was traditional in macro.
Yeah.
And we both had to learn that. You have to learn it. It's hard, but you learn it, and you learn, as you're doing now, is if you've got a long duration, you should be buying in the sell-offs and not selling.
And now let's get into this SEC dropping its investigation into Ethereum. This is absolutely crazy. So this came out last night, and listen to this name. So Kristen Pauly, keep that in mind, and shout out to Crypto Cowboy for this one. I came across it. We do not intend to recommend an enforcement by action by the Commission against your client Consensus Software, Inc. So Kristen is from the SEC. So Kristen Pauly right here. She is currently at the SEC for 10 years, almost 11 years. And previously she was at Wilkie Farr and Gallagher. Keep that in mind. Okay, these guys all know each other. So now we have Kristen Pauly writing this letter on behalf of the SEC to Consensus. There's a lot of correlations here. And then we have another lawyer from Consensus. So it's their lawyer. Listen to what they say here. This is just so fishy to me. This point is worth repeating. The investigation wasn't just aimed at Consensus. It covered Ethereum as a whole. And though anyone who contributed code or bought and sold ETH, the entire investigation is now closed, not just for Consensus, but for everyone. This is so shady. She's saying, forget about it. Don't question it. It's done. Everybody's affiliated with Ethereum. It's closed. We're not investigating wallets who bought Ethereum early. This is insane. This is insane. And then, so now when we go look at Christine Pauly, like this is ridiculous. So she previously worked at Wilkie right here. This is their website. They're a bunch of lawyers. And Hinman is currently a senior advisor at Simpson Thacher, if that's how you pronounce it. But the funny thing is these two organizations, Wilkie and Simpson, have been, they've been these guys are heavy hitters. So they have been pretty much working together in a very, very corrupt manner. You could see Bill Hinman, this whole ETHgate, guys, it's real. It's on chain. I don't know if I believe they might revisit this, but something just doesn't feel right. And even when we go back to July 31st of 2003, we have Simpson Thacher, Wilkie Farr act on Lehman Brothers buy. So this is what I mean. It goes way back. Lehman Brothers tanked. Look, the two heavy hitters come in, right? And then here we have the documents back from 2013 and all the representatives from Gallagher. There's about 11 of them. And then we have one from Simpson. This is incredible stuff. This is corruptness. You guys saw, The Big Short. You guys saw, what's that movie in regards to Bernie? Oh my goodness, how do I forget that? Bernie Madoff, right? All those shady activity, people being bought, individuals being bought, and this is legit and it's happening as we speak. And if you think that is a conspiracy, then you are living in your own little bubble and you need to really reevaluate the way you see the world. Because the world isn't this nice little, butterflies and flowers. No, that's not how it works. Okay, this world is evil. And unfortunately, as you guys could see it playing out right in front of your eyes with the SEC and Ethereum. It makes absolutely no sense that Ethereum gets its second pass within months while Ripple was going through litigation and still is for over 3 years now. But again, we are on the right side of history. And that's all I got to say, ladies and gentlemen. I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. We are just at first mile. I wouldn't even say first mile. We're about to start a multi-year bull market. I don't care what people say, okay? We are going to see higher lows. And once the system is ready to scale, You are not stopping the system. Think about it. Imagine having real world assets, money moving 24/7 every single day, billions, and then eventually into the trillions. Imagine that system goes down. No. When this starts moving, there's going to be enough liquidity and depth for these financial instruments to really go full throttle, and that is going to be an eye-opener for many. And I cannot wait for that day to come. And anybody that's impatient, come on, get a grip.
We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revisit the architecture of the financial system.
Building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening.
Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.